The IATA dangerous goods regulations prohibit the carriage of goods as hand or checked baggage that could cause significant risk to health and the safety of the aircraft. These are classed as dangerous goods. Despite warnings on posters, at travel agents, on tickets and at check-in counters, passengers still carry dangerous goods. As well as committing a criminal offence which may result in prosecution, passengers failing to comply with these regulations not only put themselves in danger, but also jeopardise other aircraft occupants. The consequences of allowing dangerous goods on board aircraft can be catastrophic. This programme will show some of the most common types of dangerous goods and what action to take should there be an incident involving such items. Although many of these items are safe in normal surroundings, they can present a hazard when carried by air. The incidents you're about to see are less obvious items of dangerous goods and are all filmed within the check-in area.
Afternoon. Travelling to Boston today? Tickets and passport, thanks very much.
Ground staff must be aware of what are classed as dangerous goods to prevent them being allowed on board the aircraft.
Bag.
Yes, it is.
And did you pack it yourself?
I did.
Have you left it unattended at any time at all? And has anybody asked you to carry anything on their behalf?
No.
In the event of any breaches, however, cabin crew must be equally aware in case they're taken on board by passengers. For ease of understanding, the programme is divided into the following sections. 1. Dangerous goods. 2. Certain items that passengers can carry subject to conditions. 3. What to do upon discovery of dangerous goods which become involved in an incident. As a guide, the following types of bag could contain items to look out for. Rucksacks and camping baggage. These could contain methylated spirits, camping gas and flares. Unusually strong attaché cases, which could contain adhesives or industrial samples. Wooden or fiberboard boxes, metal flasks or containers which could contain paint, thinners, solvents, chemicals and infectious substances. Dangerous goods are Class 1, explosives such as fireworks, flares and toy cap guns. Class 2, gases such as oxygen cylinders, fire extinguishers, gas refills for lighters, gas refills for hair curlers and aerosols. Class 3, flammable liquids which include petrol, lighter fuel, paint thinners and white spirits. Class 4, flammable and reactive materials such as firelighters and non-safety matches. Class 5, oxidizing materials which include bleach, peroxides and disinfectant. Class 6, poisons and infectious substances such as arsenic, vaccines and bacteria. Class 7, any radioactive material. Class 8, corrosives such as mercury in thermometers, acids, photographic developers and car batteries. Class 9, miscellaneous materials such as dry ice and magnetized materials. The examples shown are not exhaustive, but are representative of the most common types of dangerous goods you may encounter. Part 2. Certain items that passengers can carry subject to conditions. Alcoholic beverages are allowed, but not to exceed 70% alcohol by volume when packed in containers of less than 5 litres. Aerosols for medical or toiletry use are allowed, not exceeding half a litre each, with a maximum per passenger of 2 litres. Hair curlers containing a gas not more than 1 per passenger, and they must not be used in flight, and the cover must be fitted over the heating element. Refills are not permitted to be carried in any circumstances. Dry ice to pack perishable items, for instance, is allowed, but must not exceed 2 kilograms per passenger. The approval of the airline must be given for dry ice to be carried on board. Battery-powered wheelchairs are allowed, but special conditions apply as they contain spillable-type batteries. Special conditions then apply to make the wheelchair safe. Safety matches or a lighter are permitted when carried by a passenger. They are not permitted in carry-on or checked baggage. Small carbon dioxide cylinders for oxygen or medical use are allowed, as well as those fitted to a life jacket, with one spare allowed. And finally, a medical or personal thermometer is allowed, providing it is for the passenger's own use and is stored in a protective case. Dangerous goods can be carried as cargo, with special conditions and only if accompanied by a NOTAC. This is a document giving detailed information on the items being carried. Stringent requirements and prior notification are required. The captain will be able to find detailed information on the NOTAC, which could be vital to the fire rescue services should an emergency situation arise. Part 3. What to do upon the discovery of dangerous goods which become involved in an incident. If an item is producing dangerous chemical fumes or gases, then the following drill should be carried out. Ask passengers in the vicinity to identify what it is and its hazards. Passengers may be able to give guidance on how to deal with the substance. Immediately inform the senior crew member and captain and keep them advised throughout the incident of action taken and its effectiveness.
One of the passengers has been seriously injured.
They're being dealt with at the moment and Rob's attending to it.
All right, Sarah, we'll divert. You keep me informed on what's happening down the cabin and I'll come back to you.
Okay, I'll keep you informed.
The area of initial leakage should be mopped up using dry paper towels or dry cloths, but not water, as this may react with any spillages. Consider distributing wet towels or headrest covers to protect passengers.
Get your heads down as low as possible and breathe normally.
Always protect your hands and skin by wearing gloves and a jacket. If fumes are present, move passengers and consider donning a smoke hood. Ensure that others use wet cloths or towels. Isolate the item and place in a plastic bag to avoid any spillages. This bag should then be placed in another bag. Put your gloves on top of the second bag. Secure the item by removing it to a toilet area, as any fumes still leaking will be directed outside the aircraft rather than recirculated into the cabin via air conditioning. The area must be monitored for the remaining part of the flight, and if there is a risk of fire, then any relevant equipment must be to hand. The name and address of the passenger involved are to be taken and ground staff are to be informed upon arrival for notification to regulatory authorities. In the event of a serious incident, the captain will make a decision to divert and land at the nearest available airport as soon as possible.
London, this is Virgin 2.
An appropriate fire or smoke removal emergency procedure will be carried out, which will help to reduce fumes and avoid recirculation of contaminated air.
Norman QRH, please, and smoke removal procedure.
It is vital that check-in staff and cabin crew are vigilant at all times, not only at check-in and boarding, but throughout the flight as well. It is every employee's duty to question any passenger who you may consider could be carrying an item of dangerous goods.